Hey everybody, it is Saturday night and I have had a busy day. I've not been able to get anything done down here in the fish room, so this evening we are simply going to get a feeding video here of my Gourami tank. It's been a little while since I've done a feeding video of this tank, and the Gouramis are really starting to color up and look beautiful, and of course everybody always enjoys looking at that amazing angelfish in there. So we're going to start with some crisps or flake food, if you will. Let that swirl around in there a little bit while I make my way around the room and feed my other tanks, and then we'll come back. We'll put some Algae Wafers in the tank. Maybe we'll see that big striped Raphael come out. If you look down on the bottom, you'll notice a bevy of Loaches. I've got the Coolie Loaches in there. I've got that brown Angelfish loach with the white spots on it, you can see right there. And I've still got a couple of my old skunk loaches from way back in the day. I've had those skunk loaches since my early days of fish keeping. And then of course I've also got the Cories, and I've got a little rubber lip pleco on the bottom that share their space with that big striped Raphael. You can see that striped Raphael is just kind of hanging out in its cave off to the right. See if it doesn't get a little more active. It usually doesn't come out until after the lights go out, but if I'm feeding the tank and it's a little bit later than usual, he might come out for the feeding. Today I'm actually feeding the tank earlier than normal, just so I got time to get the video uploaded and posted and everything for today. So it's probably not likely we're going to see that Raphael come out. And I want to remind everybody that's watching this in real time, you know, if you watch it tonight, being Saturday night, or you watch it tomorrow morning, the clocks go back tonight, so my Sunday live stream will still be at 8 o'clock, but it will be for the adjusted 8 o'clock, so it will be what we are currently calling 7 o'clock. Will be 8 o'clock tomorrow, because that makes sense. And everybody enjoys setting their clocks back twice a year because, again, it makes perfect sense to do. Alright, I am feeding my experimental tank back in the other part of the basement now. And now we will go around with the Algae Wafers. I think these Algae Wafers are a bigger hit with the fish than the flake food is. And I usually take a couple of them and break them up into smaller pieces so they spread around a little bit and everybody gets a chance to get some. And pretty much most of my tanks get the Algae Wafers too. Any tank that has any kind of pleco in it, whether it's this one I'm working on now, which is my 55, has that big pleco in it, and then my 125 gallon New World tank here has another big pleco in it. Plus I have all those silver dollars, I have the creek chubs. I got a lot of fish in here that like vegetable material, so I put a lot of Algae Wafers in my New World tank. I've been asked before if I could do a video of going around the room and feeding, you know, every single tank, and I really don't know how I would pull a video like that off that would actually make it look interesting, because I don't put the food in the tank and then stand there and enjoy the view of watching the fish. I put the food in the tank and then I move on to the next tank. So, I mean, if you wanted to watch me just walking around putting fish food in tanks, I could do a video of that, but I just don't see why it would be an interesting video. Now, I could do, you know, one tank at a time. Tonight we can watch the Gourami tank, you know, being fed, and the next time I can set the camera up at another tank and we could do that. And I could set up like a, you know, a feeding playlist, and that where you could see, you know, all my different tanks being fed. But as far as like a real time going around the room doing it, I just don't know how it would really work. And the only way I'd really even be able to film it would be to wear my head cam, I guess. And then so you just get sort of my point of view of me feeding the fish. And again, I don't see that as being a really enjoyable video. So give me your feedback on that. Let me know what you think. And I've got one more algae wafer to go put in the experimental tank in the other room, which, by the way, is doing well, but is not showing any signs of denitrification whatsoever. I got asked about that a few times on my live stream on Friday night, and that's your answer. It didn't really do a whole lot of anything so far, but it's only been up and running for 2 months, so I wasn't really expecting it to. So, it looks like the Raphael has not moved, and it looks like the main bulk of the activity is pretty much over as far as the feeding. We're just going to see the bottom feeders over here grubbing away on the little bits that are on the bottom. So that's my Angelicus loach. And then those long, skinny ones are the coolie loaches. And then, of course, you can see my rubber lip pleco right there. I really like these coolie loaches. They were really reclusive when I first got them, but once they got a small group of them, once I got 4 or 5 of them together, and they started getting more comfortable in the tank, I actually started seeing them a lot more. And now they're in there all the time. Every time I look over here, I can see those little things wriggling around. So maybe we'll think about getting some more of the coolie loaches. And don't forget, I've still got 4 of the golden zebra loaches over in that experimental tank I keep mentioning that's in the other room, and they are basically in there just to grow out and get big enough that they can come over into this tank without having to be eaten by that striped Raphael, because I put one of them in here before and I really enjoyed it. It was a cool looking little loach, but it was really small and it really vanished after about a week. It was just no longer in the tank, so I can only assume that that striped Raphael had a snack out of it. So the other ones are going to stay in that other tank until they grow out and get big enough to come over here. So that's about it. Like I said, had a busy day today. Didn't get a chance to get down here and get anything done. Tomorrow is Sunday, so hopefully I'll get a little bit of tank maintenance done. Maybe we'll get a couple of simple videos shot, and then of course tomorrow night at 8 p.m. corrected time, we will be doing our Sunday night live stream, and I still have no idea what tomorrow night's topic's going to be. I'll come up with something before the video starts. So make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss anything I got coming up. As I always say, you never know what it's going to be with me. So thanks for watching this one. Don't forget I have memberships available now. I always appreciate all the help and support I get. It means a lot to me. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. If not, I'll see you real soon in the next one.